What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the blue color, playing as Poseidon. His name is Ulysses. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Loki. His name is Suppe, the Soup Meister himself. I love this matchup. I think this matchup is incredibly fun. It's super chaotic. I think it slightly favors Loki. Of all of the Poseidon matchups out there, I think that this is one of the more challenging for Poseidon players to actually get wins in. Obviously, all of the Norse gods are difficult for Poseidon, but this one is kind of no different, but it definitely plays very differently to the Thor/Odin matchup that Poseidon has to think about. So Poseidon needs to play slightly different against Loki than they would against Thor or Odin. There's lots of really, really cool things in this matchup to talk about, but if you guys don't know who these players are by now, Ulysses is one of the best players currently. He's been winning most of the tournaments recently. Super solid, super strong player. And Suppe, obviously, one of the most chaotic players, one of the more interesting players, does some very, very exciting stuff with his civilizations. And we'll see how he's going to go in this game. Now, we're on the map Savannah, which means it's super open. And we're playing with super open favored civilizations. Loki has got those speedy Hersa. Poseidon has got those speedy Hippocon. So what this essentially means is that both players' external hunt, their secondary hunt, are going to be very difficult to be getting grabbed. And not only that, both of the hunt situations here for Ulysses and Suppe are both very close to each other. So it's going to be either really easy to defend, really hard to defend, depending on which way you want to look for it. Now, if you had hunt in separate places here and here, then you could easily jump between the two and be kind of okay with that. So we'll see how things are going to go. We do have relics on the map. We've got the monkey head, extra 3 relic monkeys, which can come and spawn. This relic, I've talked about it before, but it's a little bit underwhelming to be used in your army, but it does come into be a really useful scout unit, because I think that the population cost for the relic monkeys isn't that high, like 1 each or something. So you can spread them out onto several different locations to get good line of sight. Beyond that, we've also got the Eye of Orlu. Now, this one is a very important relic to pick up for the Poseidon player, because you're going to want to get Hypaspis at some point in this game. So we'll see how things are going to go. The house being grabbed over here by Suppe just to make sure he doesn't get housed is completely standard, normal shenanigans. Ulysses here eating up his hunt on this location, going to be potentially looking to grab this town center, but very unlikely if he's grabbing this hunt. Now, if I saw this hunt here, what you can actually think about doing is moving really far forward. Let's just talk about how this could potentially, like some theory crafting here. You could potentially move forward onto this hunt, leave your lure here alone, just eat all the hunt outside, grab this town center at about like 4:45 or 5 minutes into the game or something like this, and then try and shoot all of this hunt to be right underneath your town center. Use your ceasefire to buy yourself some time. Now, hear me out. I know ceasefire you want to hold for flaming weapons, but use your ceasefire to buy yourself some time if you need to. Go heroic age and utilize your curse on enemy villages or something like this, and then make yourself Hypaspis. A little bit of theory crafting. The idea is that you don't care if your opponent has flaming weapons, because you've got Hypaspis to deal with it. If you think about exactly the difference between a Hypaspis and a Hersa in terms of DPS, Hypaspis is doing somewhere in the vicinity of 250% bonus damage, whereas flaming weapons only gives 100% bonus damage. So if your opponent's mass Hersa and your mass Hypaspis, then the flaming weapons is underwhelming. Obviously, if you don't have to cast ceasefire, don't, because it's going to be better to just cast it anyways. But that's the idea. That's an idea, I should say. Not only that, you can also get some Prodromus out to deal with your opponent's raiding cavalry as well. So you can go full counter units in a way. But it does cost a lot of food, and it is difficult to pull off. However, it doesn't look to me that that's what's happening. You'll see only with 4 villages on wood, 4 villages on gold, with the town center getting his Theseus out and Hermes coming through. A little bit like he's not going to go for that town center semi-fast or fast heroic idea. Soup, on the other hand, going through Forseti. No real surprises here. Soup does love himself some Heimdall on this map, and maybe against this player he respects a little bit too much. He's not going to be trolling all too much here, as we see the Hearse are going to be rushing this relic. He might greet the Centaur here, as they're both going to be moving past each other, and it seems like the Centaur will get spotted. Hearse doesn't care, and neither should that Centaur. Going to be looking for a little bit of early game harass here, as the wall's coming up on this position. Wants to make it a little bit difficult for for Ulysses to get in here, as we see the Centaur going to come in, hit this Skraeling over here, going to be able to take that one down, but takes a couple of shots here by the Hearse. So we see some nice walls coming in here, as the Troll going to come forward, going to start throwing those stones at the Centaur. Gets a lot of damage done onto said Centaur, but it looks like the Centaur will survive for the time being. Nice play by Soup there. Ulysses going to be almost kicking himself for setting that one in undefended here, as the Hearse are going to come back home. We see the wall segments already up here, as the Temple going to get that relic thrown into it. We've got the Longhouse coming up here as well. The Centaur going right into the corner of the map, as the Troll just going to sit on these villages, defend it there, as now we've also got the Hippolyta coming through to harass this location. The wall's not quite able to get up just yet for Soup. He's going to attempt to finish these off here, as we see the Hersers coming through to push this back. You've got to be a little bit more prepared to take this fight here, but it seems like Soup is ready to do so, and Ulysses is respecting that, pulling back, as we see Toxotes and Hippocon coming in here for Ulysses. So Ulysses wants to apply the pressure super early here. He takes down one Herso, going after a second one. This is a lot of early game damage, which Soup is suffering for the time being here, as another Herso looks like it will get taken out, as the damage is a little bit too much here. The Hippocon too fast, as we see an attempt to micro that one to keep it alive, but not able to do so, as it seems to me that Soup is going to be under too much pressure. He has to pull back into his base. And is he getting himself his upgrade? Yes, he is. He's getting Hall of Fames, but this gold mine, a little bit difficult to be continuing to mine here, as the Troll comes through, but the Hippolyta immediately going to be targeting this one down. Soup does pull this one back, but the miss micro there will be losing said Troll, as it seems now Soup has to retreat off this gold mine. He does have a little bit of gold in the bank. That is plenty of Hersa for him to build. He can jump straight onto those herdables here and start grabbing those while he's waiting, and he will be getting villagers instead, trying to get out as many units as he possibly can, as this tower is going to get taken down here. One Hippocon plus the Toxotes with the Hippolyta are going to be able to finish this one off, I assume, before watchtowers gets created, as more houses coming down. Another Longhouse in the back going to be coming through here, as well as a Hippocon going to swing through onto this position over here to push off of this hunt, as there's no real way through here apart from straight in. And I feel like that could be a way here for Ulysses to completely end this game, as this villager looks like it will get taken out. The Hippocon going to be continuing to get some damage done onto this position. Soup not paying attention over here, as the damage onto this location does not remind him to do anything, as the Hippocon is going to start getting shanked. Ulysses spots that, keeps this one alive for the time being here, as now Soup's at 56 population out of gold. He's going to need to start thinking about taking this fight here, as the unit's going to be retreating back now, and Ulysses going to allow this gold mine to get gathered yet again. I do feel like Ulysses could turn and take this fight, though. He's got a really strong army. He's got a nice concave here as well to turn around on, and that's kind of what he's deciding to do here. Not really. He loses a unit himself, as while this is going on, we do see the raids continuing onto this position here. This is why he was retreating. He gets 2 villager kills, as the units returning over here, going to take down one of the Hippocons, as this wall wants to get broken down as well. Ulysses retreats back, but he gets the damage done that he wanted to. Now the units coming back through for Soup. Going to try and attack this one here, as Ulysses at 82 of 92 population. Soup's at 65 of 75 population. Going to decide to turn around and take this fight as best as he possibly can here. Those Toxotes are really useful as long as they're not getting taken down. We see a Valkyrie spawn here, though, for Soup on this fight. While this is going on, Medium Raiders comes through. That might be enough here for Ulysses to win this fight. We'll see how it's going to go. But a Herser spawn right now. Not a Herser, an Einhjar spawn here right now for Soup is going to be a huge advantage for Soup in this fight. But it looks like Ulysses too strong, too solid, able to hold on for the time being. The Theseus still alive if you're going to be able to deal with that iron here, and Soup will have to retreat back as the village is currently trying to eat these berries, but there's no ox cart here anymore. And Soup is going to be in some pain at this stage of the game, retreating back to his healing spring here. Soup's got a little bit of gold in the bank here, so he could potentially leave this gold mine for the time being. Meanwhile, we do have this Katoska over here just scouting around on patrol on that gold mine there. But we know that Soup's probably going to want to go to this gold mine at this point, as the villagers all retreating back through this location, being a little bit dangerous, as potentially going to lose their lives here. And they will lose one. The other dwarf's going to come back, or villager's going to come back off of this location. The dwarf's going to be leaving, attempting to come over onto this gold mine, but it does kind of be, it was kind of telegraphed there that the dwarves are moving. So we'll see what Soup wants to do. Also what Ulysses wants to do is this Valkyrie coming into Ulysses' base here. He's going to be getting taken out by villagers. Nice micro by Ulysses here. Going to run for the tower as the Hippolyta comes out for the final defense. Only one villager, it seemed, or not even one villager, was taken out by that Valkyrie. Nice play by Ulysses. Nice defense there. As now the Hippocon going to be making their way over onto this location over here. The villagers, stray villagers moving out. Where are they going? Maybe going to come in and try and eat these gazelle as an ox cart ready to move forward there. Soup is always incredibly sneaky with those there, but these Hippocon come into this position, probably going to try and snipe down the ox cart here. That's exactly what they're going to do, but not fast enough here at all. The Hippocon going to try and retreat away, but the speedy Hersa, the speedy raiding cavalry are here to get some good damage done as those Hippocon pull back ever so slightly. The Toxotes going to look to come in here as well, but it looks like they're going to just be speed walking these Hippocon out of here. 84 population for Soup to Ulysses, 101 or 105 population as he does decide to take this fight here. He doesn't have any heroes in on this position just yet. The Theseus going to come in, the Hippolyta going to come in, but he needs to get those units over here as Soup's retreating back to his gold mine. We'll see how he's going to go. He might need to pull these dwarves in order to take a fight that he could potentially win here. Going to turn around and take this one as well. We see the raiding cavalry swinging onto those Toxotes there in the back as a Katoskopos does fall there. The Hersa trying to swing in and pick these units off, but it seems like they're not able to get all too much damage done. Maybe we'll see these guys turning and taking this fight now. The heroes are here, but Ulysses not wanting to do that as an Iron Hero going to spawn. That's really nice for Soup, but it's much better to get that one during the fight because he's just so slow at 3.00 speed. Just a ridiculously slow unit here as he's going to be moving away from the army just ever so slightly, not wanting to slow down his speedy units here. As now Soup ready to turn around, take slight amounts of fights here. Soup getting closer and closer to being at an equal population limit, which normally favors the Norse, but when you're playing Loki, those Herso don't really give that big of an advantage because they cost 3 population. So fighting kind of whenever is kind of okay if you're making Herso as it is. As now Ulysses is going to be returning back onto this location. We see the raiding cavalry get their upgrades as now the raiding cavalry are going to be pushing straight in onto the Toxotes. The Hippocon over here going to get chased down by the Hersa. I imagine this ox cart is yet again the unit, or the special unit that Ulysses wants to target down, but the Hersa not quite enough over here at this point as the Toxotes all get cleaned up over here pretty much. As Ulysses is having to retreat there, still trying to put pressure onto this location. The ox cart is getting pulled back, trying to keep itself alive for the time being here as the Ursa able to push in, take down those Hippocon nicely. The ox cart going to be able to stay alive. Those dwarves now going to continue to mine peacefully here for the time being. The raiding cavalry still able to push in, and that advantage that Ulysses did get in this game has gone down the drain as Soup manages to do what Soup does best, staying completely alive, completely happy here, and manages to not have to leave this game early at all. Nice micro here by Soup, taking down those Toxotes with his raiding cavalry, but the rest of his units are seemingly going to be getting taken out here as we do see a second town center now down for Ulysses. This is an interesting idea. He does have berries here that he might want to be grabbing. He's going to be throwing down farms here as we see Soup's cheeky wooden wall ghost building shenanigans getting used here in this game as well here as the units retreating back. Soup's just going to sit here idly by as Ulysses pushing in. We see the Iron Heart coming into the main base of Suppe here as well to get a little bit of harass done. Sorry, the Iron Heart coming into the main base of Ulysses from Suppe to get a little bit of harass done. As now Ulysses retreats back. Suppe's on the way here. Get this this damage done. We'll see how it's going to go. And, I mean, right now, Ulysses' win condition is essentially get Heroic Age well, I mean, there's actually a win condition for Suppe beyond that, but Ulysses really wants to get to the Heroic Age right now, so you can get access to those Capaspist. You can actually go into a full infantry army as well, with the idea of going Capaspist Hoplite against those raiding cavalry Herser. But that's kind of the idea here. We are seeing that this Iron Heart has managed to pick off a villager somehow. One of the strangest raiding units you'll ever see, I guess. Right now, Suppe actually able to advance to the Heroic Age. He's going to throw his armory down. He's going to have access to Bragi here. And for Suppe to win this game, he needs to get Mythic Age. He needs to get Wicked Value out of the Nidhogg and Fire Giant. So we'll see if that's where he's going to end up going here. I mean, these villages still very much out in the middle of nowhere. We see a handful of units going after the villagers on the gold mine as Ulysses is going to go straight after this temple here, as Bragi will be clicking up very shortly. Unfortunately, no myth unit getting spawned there by that one Herser would have been absolutely gigantic, as all of those raiding units do get taken out. Suppe clicking up through Bragi. No surprises there, as the unit's going to be pushing through now for Suppe, and we'll see what he's going to go for. He's just about to run out of food, though. So if I'm Suppe here, and I'm thinking, well, my opponent's gone to town center, I need to get Mythic Age, otherwise it's lights out for me. My plan, if I'm Suppe, is to finish these berries off and then go onto this gold mine with those, and then buy food to advance. But right now we're seeing a beautiful raids coming through for Ulysses. Suppe making no effort to defend this gold mine is going to be a very detrimental thing to him. However, he does still have this gold mine in his main base. While this is going on, we see the villagers getting absolutely massacred here as the Hippocon catch Suppe out completely with his pants around his ankles here. The army managed to come through for Suppe to push this one back, but the damage has already been done. Bragi about to be clicked up, and now the win condition slightly changes for Suppe. He needs to go kind of all in here after taking all of that damage. He's not going to be able to make it to the Mythic Age here, and he notices that he's going to go straight in to Battle Boar. So we'll see if he can get enough Battle Boar out, get enough gold income out here. As he retreats all the way to his home base, we see some military buildings coming down onto this position over here to hit this gold mine straight here. There's going to be a lot of gold mines for him to be grabbing, though, as we see this Herser coming in onto this position. Maybe a myth unit spawn, maybe not. These Hippocon going to be raiding around Suppe's base as best as he can. Going to be taking down this house, take everything else out as best as he possibly can. We even see a Pegasus coming through for Ulysses to just check out the map. The house is getting taken down. Dionysus coming through for Ulysses, as well as Ulysses is going to have a lot of resources in the back. His bank is already got the military academies out. Do we see a market anywhere? Yes, we do. Ulysses wants Artemis. Artemis is going to be huge here. Earthquake prevents a potential Mythic Age, even though there is no Mythic Age coming. But also, the Mythic Age is going to help out a ton in other areas in terms of upgrades and everything else. The Hippocon taking down villages here, taking down houses. What is Suppe going for at this point here is the big question. He's moving straight into the base of Ulysses here. He's going to go after this town center. He's got Battle Wall. We see the Pegasus on top of these dwarves over here. No attempt to defend this one as the Hippocon going to come through. We've got 13 Hippocon, 21 dwarves. No units to defend this. No walls up or anything there, as the Ulysses town center is getting targeted down. But this is not going to be that easy to even finish off. The villagers repairing it up. The dwarves getting pushed back here off of this location. Tons getting taken out, as now we see Ulfsark coming in to take down these villagers here as well. The Hydra here is going to be absolutely useless, as Suppe needs to bring his units in. We see a bit of a bronze getting thrown down here to help defend this location over here, as the Ulfsark able to continue streaming in onto this location, taking these villagers villages out. The dwarves can jump onto this gold mine. He's still got 600 gold over here that he can potentially grab as the battle ball continues to take down this town center incredibly efficiently. We see battle balls coming in onto this position as well, as Ulysses' gold might be getting counted completely here, or getting denied completely here, as we see the dwarves coming back onto this position, but we already have a segment. Why not go for this gold mine? I'm very, very confused about this. We do see a spy onto these villages as they're going to be moving up onto this location here to throw a storehouse down, but it looks to me as this town center is going to be getting held here for the time being, as Ulysses is just about to hit Artemis here. He's got no line of sight on his opponent's town center for the time being, but he'll send a unit there soon. He does have a Pegasus here, and that's what's going to happen. Meanwhile, the battle ball able to push off this gold mine. No gold for the time being for Ulysses. This market going to be going down as well, as the town center does get denied, but we do have a Chimera here, and that's going to be absolutely huge as we see the earthquake coming through, hitting every single one of these buildings. However, the town center survives with 561 HP, but doesn't matter because look at Suppe. If I can check this out, look at Suppe. He's got 43 of 15 population here. 43. That's next to nothing. No dwarves, like no gold villages. 6 gold villages here. He's got units in his base here, gathering resources, but that's about it. Here, he has managed to push off gold for the time being. Didn't finish off the market. There's a couple of villages on this gold mine, but it looks like the battle ball are mostly all going to get taken out here. And in that moment, Suppe does decide to tap out as Ulysses manages to hold on here. Some incredibly amazing raids from Ulysses in that mid game allowed Ulysses to win this game. With those raids, that was everything. If Suppe had kept his villages more safe, he just sent, maybe, just maybe, let me think about this. If Suppe puts all of his villages onto this location and leaves his army here while he was going to the heroic age, instead of being raided over here and losing all of his villages, Suppe would have been able to defend his villages, get his market down, go mythic age, and do exactly what he did in this game without taking any losses. And he would have been in a fantastic position, I reckon. He definitely would have felt that earthquake, maybe, but he would have been Mythic Age first, Nidhogg onto this gold mine, prevent this gold mine from being grabbed, and punish that delayed second town center that Ulysses grabbed. Definitely could have been an idea, but Ulysses manages to make it work here. Suppe not able to hold on. Pretty insane game here from two of the best players. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.